Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Toulouse Sevens. This one, Uruguay taking on Fiji. Now, we have just seen the Samoans defeated by Spain, which now means the winner of this contest will go on to face the Spanish. You can see already in the tunnel, two Fijian players actually embracing the Uruguay side. Feel like there's a lot of friends involved in this series. At the end of the day, when you're playing up against the same guys over and over again, you get that time to talk to them off the field. And this game is certainly going to be a very entertaining one. Looking through at Uruguay starting lineup, it will be Odell. There's also Cuban, Faciolo, I should say, Liechtenstein, Amia, Basso, and also Felipe, Arcos, Perez, the last man in their starting side. Then for the Fijians, Tamani, Batitarenga, Saturanga, Waisia Nathungu, Punipati, Loganamasi, Manueli Maisamoa, and also Paula. They have got Naya Thakalau. I believe we learned that his name is not that on the team sheet. And on the back of his shirt, we're going to move all our papers. It is actually instead Wally Soliso. So we'll try and remember that throughout this live stream. But I'm excited for this game. As you guys can probably tell, we have got Let's Go Bulla, says Peter Stowers, and Fiji will run away in this game 26 points to 10. But Uruguay will be kicking off for this contest. Haven't covered a huge amount of Uruguay's games on the channel. I'm excited. I know that they're a great side and that they can cause upsets left, right, and centre. They almost beat the Kiwis a little bit earlier on in this comp. But it is going to be slapped back by Uruguay. And already they have got themselves the attacking opportunity. Only 5 metres out from the line. Gets back to his feet now. I think they might have to check that one because they may actually say that that was a tackle. And then he got back up to his feet to put the ball over. I don't think there's any denying the fact, though, that ball has crossed the try line. It's just how it's got there that they've got to try and decide here. We're talking penalty only. The try is fine. You happy with the touch, says Adam Leal. It's a try, ladies and gentlemen. I thought he might have been held in that scenario, but there was going to be a penalty against the Fijians. But Felipe Arcos Perez, his first try in the Sevens competition so far. And what a kickoff for Uruguay, ending up with the ball straight away, putting the Fijians under pressure. Just a brilliant fend as well. See, I thought he was tackled there. There we go. Commentators have just seen it and they have said, was he perhaps held? I believe he was. But the try will stand. The kick goes away to the left-hand side, and Uruguay now sitting with a 5-0 lead. Yep. Okay, commentators are saying that there may have been a tackle completed in there, but it's the game of sevens. It's that fast pace. You never know what's going to be happening in the games. Now, 6 minutes remaining in the first half. It will be kicked off here by Liechtenstein. Tell you what, some of these Uruguay names, they don't quite roll off the tongue the way that I'd like them to. That one's gone backwards, and then it was knocked on partially by Uruguay. So Fiji now on the halfway line will have themselves the scrum. 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half. We know how strong the Fijians can be. They are one of those sides that can score 3 tries in 2 minutes if they need to. Just whether or not they find their momentum here. They haven't been going as well as they would have liked throughout the Sevens competition. Same with Samoa. For two sides that finished 3rd and 4th in Singapore. I mean, Samoa finishing 11th here. Fiji at best can finish 9th, which I believe is what they'll have their target set on. Brilliant run there from Waisia Nathungu. He's going to be an extremely hard man to catch. He runs in the try, and now Fiji make the score 5-5. Nathungu, 3 tries so far in Toulouse, I believe now for his career. He's up to about 136 or 7 tries throughout his Fijian stint. So pretty impressive from him. Jerry Tuai, he'll be coming off the bench a bit later on. He's catching up with the great veteran who has about 140 at this current point in time. Waisia Nathungu gets the ball down. Now the kicking chance does go over. So that will now make the score 7 points to 5 in favour of the Flying Fijians. There we go. They have just put it up. All-time tries, 136. Behind Jerry Tuai, 140. I can't believe I remembered those stats. I feel like that's a bit of a pat on the back moment. Now, kicked up extremely high. Jeez, he's got height on that. I think that's the highest kickoff we have seen from anyone in the Sevens competition. I don't know why more teams don't try the very high kickoff. If that ball hanging in the air, I mean, we saw a little bit of a loose catch. That's going to be a drop ball from Uruguay. Now Fiji have got themselves another scrum. Unfortunately, there, Fasiolofo or Fasia Fasiolo. There we go. Just needed the tongue in the right place. Now, scrum feed for the Fijians. 4 carries from Uruguay, 1 from Fiji. And in that 1 carry, they were successful. Now, 3.5 minutes remaining. Ball goes in for Fiji. A little bit of a rough scrum there, but they managed to get it out in the end. Now, Natungu, inside ball doesn't work out. Going to be knocked on by Manuel Samoa. Now Uruguay with the chance again to shift it out to the left-hand side. Great tackle made by Samoa. Always very strong in defence, that man. Although the best defence we've seen so far has to go to Wasiolio, who was able to make 2 last-ditch effort tackles. Tell you what, he's just made another one right as I mentioned that man. Brilliant at going from grabbing onto the shirt, round the bootlaces, stopping teams in their tracks. Try time Fiji. Here's Peter Stowers. Now nice offload again for Uruguay. Up to the 22-metre line. Samoa makes the low tackle. They go across to the right-hand side here. They've already had a 1 try for Perez. Be lurking, waiting for his next chance. Los Tiros now. Wrestled down. Oh, as they keep the pressure on Fiji, says Peter Stowers, looking for the dummy cell from Uruguay, only 5 metres out. Now another offload and over the try line. It's going to be Perez who gets his second. He has been everywhere that he is needed. Hardly can stand at the moment. He is getting smashed about all over the place, but that is his second try of this match and the second try in the Toulouse Sevens for the man. Brilliant first of all run from Cuban, who then got the offload away and just using that strength. I don't know what the injury is for Perez, but it seems to be something that's stopping him from being able to really, where is it? You'll see it here. I think it's just his legs overall. He might just have a sore hip or something relatively middle region of the body. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit while he's out there. Also, do you think Samoa can qualify for the Olympics if they play well in London and Australia get low points? I can still see them going through because it's a bit of a weird one because it's the first 5 teams or the top 5 teams get Olympic qualification. Whereas France, they are actually in that group of 5. So I believe in a way it's the top 6 because France are in there. Because, yeah, France already automatically go through, if that makes sense. Now, there's going to be a ball across. Nice run here from the big man, Mothunothangi. I thought it was. Yeah, Mothunothangi. What's he doing on the field? He was on the bench. Now, nice run again from Fiji. It's going to be Batitaringa. Almost caught by the man's name who I couldn't say. Fusiolo. Now, though, Nathunu steps on the inside twice. Oh, he's been almost dragged. Oh, he's just running around for fun here. I see Nathunu. He knew he was going to be able to score the try. He was just teasing them 2 meters out from the line. Okay, cool. And thanks, says Tautala. Yeah, Nathungu crossed the try line to then go back into the field of play to step one more Uruguay player twice and then go back in to score the try. That is how you know that he scored 137 tries. He knows exactly when they are coming. So, yeah, he stepped on the inside, stepped again, still in the field of play, and then managed to get that ball down. Now, the kick is going to be quite important for Fiji here. And it is successful. So that is now going to make the score 12 points to 10. In fact, sorry, 14 points to 10 in favor of Fiji. And it just shows how important those conversions can be. Because that is a 4-point difference here between these two sides that it wouldn't have been otherwise had there been more conversions for Uruguay. That will be a forward pass from Fiji into the half, sitting now 14 points to 10. An intriguing second half just around the corner. It's actually very hard to pick who's going to win it. I know that Fiji at the moment look like they've got the momentum, but Uruguay are one of those sides that they're 1 try away from really finding their feet in this contest. And the Fijians will know that, which is exactly why they will want nothing to do with that kind of thing. As soon as they start getting the momentum, they need to keep it. That is the Fijians. Looking at the bench, Jerry Tuwai, Talatholo, also off the bench, the captain, Mothunothangi, already making his way out onto the field. Vuli Tuive and also Ioane Tiba, the last man to come off the bench for the Flying Fijians. Pretty even overall in the stats, other than the fact that Uruguay have had a lot more carries, 8 to be exact, 2 line breaks apiece, 2 turnovers conceded apiece, 7 tackles made by Fiji, actually yet to miss one. What place did Samoa get? They managed to get themselves 11th, so a lot lower than they would have liked. We go forward, is what I've just heard from the coach of Fiji. And I feel like that's a very good mindset because at the end of the day, the Fijians have the offloading prowess to be able to really create magic when they are out on the field. The sun is actually shining beautifully in Toulouse as well, I should mention. So it should be a nice evening for the finals. They will be taking place at about 4 a.m. New Zealand time. We will be covering them on the channel. The two semi-finals for the men just around the corner. Canada taking on Argentina, and then the other final will be New Zealand versus France. Already confirmed, though, in the women's side of things, it will be New Zealand versus the USA for the women's final. Next match we are covering, though, will be Australia versus South Africa. That is going to be in 11 minutes' time, and that is for the 5th place playoff game. Ireland then play Great Britain. We will be missing that one just so that we can get prepped for the semi-finals, with these games being back-to-back to back-to-back. Doesn't really allow too much of a break. But we do see there the Spanish players in the stands. They actually just played, and you can see the smiles on their faces. They are playing off for 9th against the winner of this game. So they are eagerly awaiting the next 7 minutes. Once again, brilliant high kick there from Fiji. If they don't use that tactic more often in other games, I would be extremely surprised because it's been very successful. My Samoa for the corner scores it. And what a finish for the Fijians. Just uses his power and the physicality to run it to the corner. And my Samoa, within 20 seconds, gets another Fijian try on the board. Vailawa was a nice pass out to my Samoa and just bumped straight into him there. And just able to stay in the field of play. That was Amaya, I believe, trying to make that tackle. And to his credit, it was a decent effort. You can see the celebration there from Spain. Interesting. Okay. So pretty much the reason behind that for Spain is because Uruguay are the team who are just that little bit ahead of them on the overall men's standings, if that makes sense. There we go. 49 points for Uruguay, 48 for Spain. So the reason that Spain are celebrating Fiji so much is because if they manage to go forward a little bit further here, they will actually advance ahead of Uruguay on the overall standing. So a little bit of companionship between Spain and Fiji, something that you probably wouldn't expect to see. And then the next time that they play, which could be just around the corner, they will be all out action and aggression. Now, Uruguay, after winning the penalty, do kick that one to the touchline. Right. Line out through here, Liechtenstein. Now ready to go. Throws the ball in, nicely taken for Uruguay. Now Liechtenstein, he was lurking around that back. And now nice attack and run here from the Uruguay side, although the ball has gone loose. Now kicked forward twice, although it bounces back up nicely. That is accidental offside from Uruguay, so that will now be the penalty in favour of Fiji. Waisi Natungu, 40 metres out from the Fijian line. They might consider slowing this one down, and that does look like it's what they're doing. How many points does Samoa get? I may ask, please. So I believe, or it's tricky, I think you get 20 for first. So I would say that maybe they got about maybe 6 points or so for 11th, somewhere around there. I could be a little bit wrong, though, but I believe it's somewhere around that kind of lower, maybe around 5 points, maybe even less, maybe around 3. Hey, bro, late night stream, says Callan. It certainly is. We've got plenty more to go. We have still got another 3 men's matches that we are covering just back to back to back now. And then after that, we've got the women's final. We'll have a couple more men's matches, probably the 3rd place playoff game for the men's as well, finishing tonight or this morning, I guess you could say, at 4:30 or so. Ball fed in, Vailoa. Going back across for the Fijians. They'll be looking to add another try, and I think it could be just around the corner. And I see Nathungu. Now a big run here. And tell you what, that is going to be a very, very hard man to catch the Fijians. They get themselves another. It's going to be Logan Amasi who runs in the try now. Fiji with a nice, comfortable lead over Uruguay, and that will make Spain even that little bit more happy about that one. Yeah, I believe the next match for these two sides, or for the winner of this game, I should say, will be playing at 1:38 a.m. That will be up against Spain. So we will be covering that game on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. The fifth place playoff game is at 2 a.m. 2:59 is the bronze final for the men's, and then 3:56 a.m. New Zealand time is when that next match after that, the final, will be taking place. Conversion unsuccessful, so 14 points difference between these two sides. I should mention, though, if Uruguay managed to get themselves 2 more converted tries, it would actually mean we go to golden point time. See, Paul Pla got the tears in his eyes. He is absolutely loving the feeling of going through to that ninth place playoff game. You can see how much it means to him. Hopefully they do well in that next game. What time is your last stream? It will be finishing, or it will be starting at 3:55 a.m. So I think it's about 5 hours from now is the last stream that we have got coming up on the channel. Look for the offload there. Didn't quite work out. Adam Lil calls the double knock on, and Fiji will have themselves the scrum feed. Now only 3 minutes remaining. Getting a pat on the back from, I believe that might be his mum. Yes, it is. Oh, geez, that's going to make the tears go even more. Getting the cuddle from his mother. Now, Uruguay. They need to find 2 converted tries. Try and wipe the tears from the face of Spain and turn it into anger. Jerry Tuai now on the field for Fiji. Adam Leal. Please, we must relax our movement before the ball goes in. Clear instruction for the scrum. Stay still. Tell them to keep the weight even. He did not say a single word to his other 2 teammates in the front row who don't speak English. So anything could happen in this scrum. Looks like it's going to be all right, though. Relatively solid. Ball pops out the back for Jerry Tuai. And now goes off to Nodovalo. Another step from the Logan. And must see the man who just managed to score himself the try, having to go backwards here big time by the Fijians. Now Jerry Tuai thinks about straightening. He has yet to get himself a try here in Toulouse. Perhaps this could be the game that he does so. Now big run from Muthanothangi. Goes from one extreme to the other. One of the biggest on the team to one of the smallest. Vailawa, but he's one of the quickest. Gives it back to the big man, Muthanothangi. And he'll run in the try for the Fijians. Brilliant work. Seville Muthanothangi. The Fijians, like I mentioned, it was the biggest versus the smallest in the team, and they were working together in tandem. It was just going to be extremely hard to stop them from there. You can see the smile on the face of a couple of the Fijian players in the background there with that try. They knew that that was the Fijian flair they often like to show. 29 points to 10. Paul Pla celebrating again here. Yeah, the Spanish know how important that was. 1:20 remaining. I don't see a Uruguay comeback coming now due to the fact that it is 31 points to 10 in favor of the Flying Fijians. But Spain, the tears are flowing. It's going to be a tricky one because they have to go on to face Fiji. The problem is if they are playing with a huge amount of emotion, that can sometimes help, but that can also be a downfall. Another massive high kick from the Fijians, but it's nicely taken by Uruguay. Just 1 minute remaining on the clock, and that will be a penalty against the player in the breakdown. Quick tap taken. Off to the right, a little bit of a handling error there for Uruguay, number 3. Looks like Uruguay have actually made all their subs as well. Mbulavaka Fiji says Peter Stowers, big shot coming in there from Muthanothangi, but does lose his footing. Going off to the left-hand side now for Uruguay. Quick hands, all a little bit of a fumble out on the wing, but manages to do nicely. 10 seconds remaining. Hanging on to this ball on the halfway line at the moment. Pass out wide. Albasso. And wrestled down by Muthanothangi. Joins the breakdown again. Vinals. On across now, you can kind of hear the crowd starting to make a bit more noise here because the Uruguay side will get the final try of the contest. And that is going to be Amaya, who does score it. That will make the score now 15 points to 29. The Spanish side celebrating here once again. Spain are safe in 2024. Do they? Wait, so they don't count London next week? Okay, they must not count next week in the overall points. Because I would have thought with Spain going a little bit ahead of Uruguay, if Uruguay finish high in London, would that not boost them? Either way, I think they're saying Spain are safe in the series. So congratulations to Spain. I'm confused at what happens with that final leg in London. Oh, okay. No, now I understand. So there's a playoff tournament next week that takes place between the bottom sides. So that is going to be between Uruguay, Kenya, and also I think it was Canada in that bottom side. So that is why Spain was celebrating so much. They just had to get out of the relegation zone for this week. Nonetheless, we are now popping over to our next live stream, ladies and gentlemen. That will be the game between South Africa and Australia. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will see you all in a very short moment.